Hey, what's going on guys? John here, and today I wanted to do a video review for this projector screen. So this is actually a 100-inch projector screen. You can get this in a 100-inch as well, but I decided to go with the larger size because, you know, why not, right? Have a bigger setup here. I thought what I would do is show you my setup, give you some pros and cons to this, and just give you some idea of what to expect. So the first thing with this is basically you have little hooks here. So if you wanted to mount this with these loophole hooks, you have these. These basically go all throughout. Some of them are kind of hidden, but they're basically going all throughout the border of the actual screen. Now, I have this set up here in a large garage that I have here in my home, and we actually set this up with a Nintendo 64. We just had a party here and a projector. And the projector is pretty nice. This is like a higher end one that you know, is a little bit more than what you'd normally get if you got something that was like a 1080p. This is like a 4K, so it's a pretty nice projector. And I was able to get the picture to come up on this. And we had people coming over during the day, so it was probably about 3 o'clock. And as you can see, I've got light coming through this door. We have a window here. There's actually 3 windows back here. And then we've also got some light coming through the garage door over here, as well as another window here. And then there's also light coming through the top. I have most of the windows blocked here due to some insulation that I installed this summer. And the reason I mention all that is obviously if there's a lot of light coming into the room, the picture is going to be harder to display. It's going to be very faded. So the way that I solved this is I went out and I bought just like some very inexpensive, basically like little sheets. These are basically like tablecloths, very thin, and I hung them up on all the windows with tacks to block this out. And I figured that would be enough. But what we found we had to do is actually take one of the tablecloths and hang it up behind the screen. So this was a very simple alternative to really add some darkness to the back of this. But normally the fabric, as you can see, it's almost see-through. You can actually see, I'm able to see right through the window. So it's very thin. It almost literally feels like a sheet. Normally I would say probably if you're just looking for something very simple, something to just kind of get you by, this probably would work okay. If you really want something that's a little bit of higher quality, this may not be the best bet. You know, again, we were able to find an alternative, and this actually worked quite well even during daylight, just blocking all the incoming light and adding this you know, black tablecloth to the back. It worked out. But even this, as you can see, there was some area cut off, and playing games, we found that you could really tell the difference just looking there at the bottom. You can even see it now with all the daylight coming through now that I've removed all the curtains. I did also have to get this stand. With the stand, I was able to get these clips, and this ended up working pretty much perfectly to keep this stable, and that was a good solution. I was able to get this separately, so it will not come with the stand. You will have to get your own stand or use something else to hang it. I would probably recommend, if you're gonna get this, probably find something where you have either a dark or a smooth background where it's gonna be a little bit better. You're not gonna have a lot of light coming through. Even in my case, I may have been better off like hanging it on this garage door, for example, but because it's white, it probably wouldn't have done as good of a job. So anyway, that's my general review. I didn't wanna be super negative because honestly, it did work for what it was, but we had to make some modifications in order to get it to be effective during daytime. At night, we didn't have any issues. You could probably remove this, and if you had a really dark room, this should work just fine.